There's no time. Take this. Keep it safe. Information. The Ice Reach Coven. At work in the west. Just need more proof. Go! They're coming! Don't trust them. Only Lyris. She's...
You there! What did that fugitive tell you? Who are you? Another spy? What did this lying Easterner say to you? Assisting a fugitive is a crime in Hafingar-Hold. Unless you want to find out how we deal with traitors and spies, tell me what he said to you. Lucky for you. If he had told you any seditious lies and you decided to keep them from us, you'd have been in real trouble. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong. Solitude doesn't take kindly to instigators or strangers. And mark my words, you'd rather not get on the wrong side of the High King's guard. Go on. Just remember, I'll be keeping an eye on you. What?
Stay back! I'll do it! I'll stab you! I mean it! One step closer, and I'll stick you like a hawker! I don't know any Brondold. That is what I told the guards, and that is what I'm telling you. I don't want any more trouble. You make me stab you, and it's my word against yours. Dead? Stone's mercy! And I'm next, aren't I? I promise. I don't know anything. I won't make any trouble. I'll disappear. I don't even like it here. You'll never see me again. He did not tell me a lot. Said he was tracking some bad people. Asked me to keep an eye out for any unusual comings and goings. He'd come by now and then with a sweet roll and a few coins for my trouble. He was nice. The last time we spoke, it was about the men with the job postings. A pair of wolves in sheep's clothing, trying to blend in, but still off around the edges. Same with their horses, sheared mountain mares. Come from the Reach, I wager. Flyers. They were hanging them at the inn around the city. Something about a lucrative opportunity in the Druidic Mountains. I really did not pay them a lot of attention. I was more interested in the men distributing them. Take Brondle's horse and run before someone less friendly comes to find me. Bron was going to take me back east after he finished here. I want to live where strangers are welcomed with a smile instead of a scowl. I hear Windhelm is like that. We are stuck between the despot of Markarth and the Skald King of the East. Both sniff around like wolves, waiting for a moment of weakness to strike. Not a day goes by without a threat of war. It is exhausting living this way. They'd be wise to. The only time Reachmen and Nords meet is to kill each other. I've always heard they were raiders and barbarians. No interest in honest labor. Or writing, for that matter. Not the sort to post job notices. Who knows? Maybe they really do need laborers. Can't imagine Reachmen would hire Nords, though. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere.
vestige? You're a sight for sore eyes. Feels like it's been ages since, well, you know. I'd invite you for a drink, but I'm about to present myself to royalty just as soon as my contact arrives. He's what? Oh, damn it. Queen Gerhild will be here at any moment. Look, Her Highness is expecting to talk to me and my contact. I need you to pretend to be that contact, or this will go very badly. We can exchange intimate details of our lives later. Right now, just know that the safety of all of Skyrim, maybe even all of Tamriel, depends on how this meeting goes. So follow my lead and be on your best behavior with Her Highness.
Lyris Titanborn. Your reputation is known even here in the West. Is this one of your famed companions?
No, but I assure you my partner is one of the Skald King's best. Go introduce yourself, partner.
I am Gerhild, Queen of Skyrim. Allow me to welcome you on behalf of our kingdom, our city, and our hold. Who might you be? The letter that preceded your arrival said an attempt was made on the Skald King's life. It indicated that High King Svargrim would be next. My husband took that as an accusation and a threat. He will not meet with you, but I will hear you out. Have you anything that would persuade my husband? It will take some substantial evidence to convince High King Svargrim to heed the words of the hated Yoren, the Skald King. Reachman transgressions will not be enough for Svargrim to accept outside help. He's a prideful man, and the bad blood between him and Yoren runs deep. I will speak on your behalf, but you and Lyris will need to bring me proof he cannot ignore. Thank you for alerting me to this situation. I am eager to see what else you uncover. I will do what I can, but be as discreet as possible. If you run afoul of my husband, he won't hesitate to return you to Yoren, and not necessarily in one piece. Eastern and Western Skyrim have been at odds since the kingdom was divided. Yoren's ambitions for the Ruby Throne, however, have created a new level of tension. Forming alliances and raising armies for conquest. Should we not be wary of such a man? Frankly, yes. He believes Yoren hasn't marched here with an army as yet, because the Western holds are firmly united against Pact rule. My husband is certain Yoren plots to erode those allegiances. He will not easily earn the High King's trust. My deepest apologies. Between the Reach to our south and the Ebonheart Pact to the east, our soldiers have come to see all outsiders as a potential threat. I will look into this. Vigilance cannot be allowed to become a bludgeon. You must convince my husband that a threat greater than Yoren exists. Further, this threat must directly imperil the High King. Find proof of this, and I will assist you how I can. Helping to keep our hold safe will also allay his concerns. It's enough for me to believe your intentions are sincere. Learn more about these suspicious activities you mentioned, then bring it to me. If this threat is as dangerous as Yoren claims, prove it, and I will make my husband listen to reason.
You handled that better than I expected. Now what in Mara's name happened to Brondald? Damn. Lucky thing he found you. Brondald was supposed to get the lay of the land before I got here. Without his information, my work for Yoren the Skald King could be over before it begins. What did he give you? Hand it over. Smugglers and Reachmen up to illicit business. Nothing unusual there, but Brondald thought it could be connected to the Coven. I'm short a good investigator, and you stepped into the role easily enough. Can I count on you to help me with this? Brondald mentioned some locals we should have a talk with. A snitch named Grega, who likes to gamble in back alleys, and an orc named Mog, who frequents the Lonely Troll Inn. Let's find them and see what they can tell us. Succinctly? No. but I'll try. The Ice Reach Coven recently attacked the Skull King. We learned they're planning something in western Skyrim as well, so Yoren sent me to warn them. Beyond that, we have the leads Brondald found, and that's about it. Reach witches from an island to the north in the Sea of Ghosts. Nords drove their kind out of Skyrim a long time ago, and we thought they were gone forever. Seems we were wrong. While it's true that Svargrim and Yoren don't get along, the Skull King doesn't want something terrible to befall western Skyrim. That would be bad for the east as well as the west. Besides, Yoren was hoping for an opportunity to improve relations. We don't, but it's all we've got. Even if they aren't connected to the Ice Reach Coven, taking care of a few of Svargrim's problems might earn us some goodwill. Now, let's go check out the back alleys and the Lonely Troll Inn. Succinctly, no. I'm not the first Nord from the east to receive a chilly reception at the Blue Palace.
Fascinating
Doubt I'll be the
application of
last.
the technique.
Bard's College. Hard to imagine the Skald King spent his youth studying verse in this stodgy old kingdom.
Hey! Don't step on the dice. There a reason you're interrupting our game, Porkface? Don't know any Brondald. Don't know you. Either way, I got nothing to tell you. Get lost. I'm on a winning...
My friend asked nicely. Talk, or the next thing to roll will be your heads.
Kassala! She handles all the smuggling in Solitude. Her warehouse is on the docks.
That wasn't so hard. Come on, partner. We're done here.
Yeah!
Castle Dower is a monument to the Western spirit. Stony and cheerless. Maybe the new tower will liven up the place. You must be Mog. I have questions.
Questions? Happy to oblige. Buy a few rounds and let's chat.
You're going to answer me, Orc, or...
Hey! Nobody intimidates my friends.
Princess Svanna.
Who gave you the right to walk in here and bully my friend? Did my father send you? Because he doesn't like Mog. But I like Mog. Mog doesn't care that I'm a princess, and it doesn't matter to me that Mog's a scoundrel. If my father didn't send you, why are you threatening my friend? Smelly bastards. Cheap, too. Wouldn't buy us a drink. They hung their flyers and left without saying a word. Then, a different smelly bastard showed up to sign on workers. He was a charmer, though. His breeches fit well. And he was handsome. Not a Nord. Breton, maybe? I didn't really listen to what he was saying. A half-dozen workers left with him. Off to the Drudok Mountains or someplace. He hasn't been back since.
Let's talk outside, partner. So we've got a mysterious Breton possibly working with Reachmen, recruiting workers for some unknown purpose. Plus there's a smuggler hiding unknown contraband in a warehouse down by the docks. I say we deal with the smuggler first. We know where to find her, and we more or less know what she's up to. And if the two are connected, maybe the smuggler can help us narrow our search for the Breton. Ready to visit Casella's warehouse? That's Casella's warehouse.
Just needs your help.
One sentry.
Sea giants and
Let's try not to
vampires
cause
are
a scene.
everywhere.
Private property. Get lost. Wait. A half-giant? Is that Lyris Titanborn? Blood and Blade. Everyone knows Lyris Titanborn. What a woman. She's even larger than I imagined. No wonder she fought Swordmaster Sai Sahan to a draw. Wait, is he here too? Until Casala returns, I'd be happy to keep fair Lyris company in her stead. Alas, Casala doesn't allow visitors when she isn't here to conduct business. But we can wait out here. Do you think Lyris would autograph my ancestral scabbard? It would mean so much to my son. When I have one. Do you know if Lyris is betrothed? Oh, thank you, thank you! You don't know how much this means to me.
I don't know what you said to him, but this is our chance. Try the lock. Good job with the sentry. You got rid of him and I didn't have to bash him or anything. See if you can pick the lock while I keep watch. See what's in those marked crates. I'll watch the door.
Our shipments would return. Brought muscle this time, I see.
More than you. Care to try me?
I'll pass. I just want to know who's been meddling in my business. I had a feeling it wasn't just an opportunistic thief trying to steal my cargo. What are you after? A plot against the High King? Involving plundered antiquities from Hammerfell? Preposterous. I'm simply facilitating a transaction between treasure hunters and a rich collector. So, who am I paying the bribe to? You or the High King? Gimme that! Tribal craft's my arse. I told that son of a skeever I don't deal in arcane goods, especially ones from the Reach. Nothing but sorrow comes from such business. This isn't... No name, just instructions and gold. Shipments come in, I make sure no one looks too closely and wait for a pickup. Never see a same face twice. Last time it was a smooth-talking Breton with Nord laborers in tow. You want more? I need assurances. They're taking the cargo to an abandoned lodge in the foothills north of Solitude. Occasionally used it myself when the city guard was being thorough. Want to catch them? Start there. If that's all, we're leaving. I'm not losing my head over this. The Breton was sly. Handsome even. Thought he could charm me into taking on additional shipments. Now that I know what's involved, the trouble isn't worth it. The Nords were local, hired hands from the Lonely Troll. I'm paid not to ask too many questions. This arrangement was a lucrative one. I trusted them, but it seems they took advantage of my natural greed. That won't happen again.
Ronald had good instincts. We're definitely onto something. Our mystery buyer is hiring locals to haul these urns and reach fetishes out of the city. But for what purpose? Without a doubt, the Coven's attack on Yoren involved a ritual. Why hire locals, though? Seems like an unnecessary risk. And how does the Breton figure in? I suppose using different people draws less attention. Something doesn't feel right. No reason not to. Head there while I circle around from the other direction in case they're already on the move. Just be careful. I'd rather not lose another partner before we actually figure out what we're up against. Give your sentry my best, and tell him I owe him an autograph.
Oh, he's gonna get more than an autograph if I see him again.
I have more than I need, so I'll just feast on you.
Over here, partner. All I found were these Reachmen stalking the pass. Decided they'd rather die than talk, so I obliged. They don't look like they're from Ice Reach, but they are wearing the Coven's medallions. Anyway, did you find the lodge? Kilcreath? The temple to Meridia? Why would the Ice Reach Coven target a local Daedra cult? We're running out of time. I'll head back to Solitude and try again to warn High King Svargrim. You go to Kilcreath Temple and alert Meridia's priests. I'll meet you there as soon as I can. You'll be going up against the Coven by yourself. Warn the priests. If there's an opportunity to safely stop or delay the ritual, by all means, but don't take any unnecessary chances. I still don't want to lose another partner. Good luck.
Disaster has befallen Kilcreath Temple. Don't be alarmed. I mean you no harm. But there are Harrow fiends swarming around Kilcreath Temple who do. Head back to safety before they find you. I'm sorry, but you're too late. An unnatural storm struck the temple, and now the entire area is overrun by vampires and Harrow fiends. Harrow fiends are feral vampires, a byproduct of the unnatural Harrow storm. As for me, I am Fenorian of House Ravenwatch. I came here on the trail of remains stolen from a mass grave in Banquerai. They were shipped to Solitude in ancient urns. Yes, I've run into the Coven as well. The urns and the stolen remains play a part in a ritual to summon the storms. If you're willing, I could use your assistance. I need to finish my investigation of the site to see what else I can learn. I could use your help to examine the strange pikes erected around the temple. Harrow fiends and vampires roam the area, making it difficult to get close. Hence the need for your assistance. You see, I'm not that confident in my combat prowess. Is it that obvious? But have no fear. As a member of House Ravenwatch, I have pledged to never take blood from an unwilling subject. I assure you, I'm only here to help. I am much more than just a vampire. In addition to being an agent of House Ravenwatch, I am a master alchemist and an expert in arcane studies. I do try to avoid direct violence, though, to make sure I never give in to temptation. An alchemical residue. That should prove useful. It's depleted. Just ordinary sticks and rope now. Interesting. Can you feel the lingering energy? That's Daedric, if I'm not mistaken. These depleted witch pikes expended a lot of power to summon the Hero Storm. Now they're just ordinary sticks, but even in this state, they tell us much about the ritual that flowed through them. I'm sure now that the pikes play a significant role as focal points for the Storm ritual. The prepared pikes are depleted as the ritual runs its course, but I sensed lingering energy, including a Daedric taint. And we found an intriguing residue. It's the remains of an alchemical poultice that was spread over the pikes. Smells like rotting fungus, doesn't it? With a little study, I should be able to identify each ingredient in its makeup. Then I can begin to understand the ritual. One other thing I want to check first. I noticed the pilgrims leading a cart away from the temple right before the storm hit. Coven members could have tried to slip away among the innocents. The cart should be along the road south of the temple. Strange. They're alive, but unresponsive. Check the crates and see if they contain the smuggled items. Did you find anything of interest in the crate? I can't believe anyone knowingly involved would have let themselves be exposed to the storm. Perhaps the pilgrims were tricked into transporting the crate. Or maybe it was slipped into their cart. Yes, of course. Though I fear what we may find there. The temple was clearly at the center of the storm. Regardless, there's still a lot we don't know about the effects of this ritual. Observing the target area could offer new insights. These are temple priests and pilgrims. It seems the storm killed them. I'll need to perform more tests. But from what we've seen, I believe the storm affects mortals in 3 distinct ways. It kills them, transforms them into harrow fiends, or leaves them mindless. I suppose I'd say it harrowed those poor pilgrims. I want to learn more about the ritual, and how it produces the harrow storms. And I need to confirm my theories about the storm's effects. I'll start by examining the residue from the witch pike to identify the components used to power the ritual. My alchemical equipment. It's extremely fragile, so I left it in my pack. I hid it among a copse of trees once I saw all the vampires and harrow fiends. Once I retrieve it, I can find a place to begin my analysis. Wait!
That's
I'm not
close
part of the
enough,
coven!
Leech. Looks like I made it back just in time. This place is crawling with vampires, and that one was about to make a meal out of you. House Ravenwatch. I've heard of them, but he's a long way from Rivenspire. Well, if you're willing to trust a vampire, I suppose I can too. I spotted a coven witch. If we hurry, we might be able to catch her. On the cliff overlooking the temple. Calls herself Sister Embrit. I was going to rush her, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't run afoul of any of these monsters first. No offense, Fen. Come on. If we're lucky, the witch is still up there.
Perhaps I could question the witch before you introduce her to your impressive axe blade?
No time to talk now. We need to get up to the cliff and find that witch.
Remain vigilant. We are close to our goal.
Not even harrowed. It seems the ritual needs refinement.
Kill her before she can summon another storm.
Willing sacrifices. How nice.
Sacrifice! I'd rather give you my axe, witch.
hoped you could take her prisoner. No matter. I found something. This way?
Care to... Go with your vampire friend. I'm gonna look around here.
Do you see? These are the same as the urns smuggled from Cruëlle. They didn't just shatter, they exploded. I can sense traces of magicka clinging to the shards that match the energy used in the storm ritual. These other fragments, though. All this rubble scattered around didn't just come from these urns. The texture and patterns are different. They appear to have used the funerary dust in the urns to summon the Harrow Storms. But I'm not sure what was inside the larger vessels. Look at the shape of the fragments. They come from a hollow receptacle of some sort. Something at least as tall as you. Perhaps larger. Just another piece of the puzzle. Maybe when I analyze the witchpike residue, an answer will suggest itself. Thank you, but no. I try to avoid large population centers. Be temptation. You understand. I'll find someplace nearby, but out of the way where I can set up my equipment and work undisturbed. I'll send word when I have something to report. I met a clever woman who lives in the bog near Morthal. Old Mjolnir's a dying breed among the Nords. A practitioner of the old magic. The locals both admire and fear her. If anyone can help me untangle the Coven's ritual, it's her. Mjolnir's experience with the old ways and reach magic make her ideally suited to assist me in this endeavor. She's the closest thing to an expert we're likely to find out here. At least one who doesn't want to feed our eyes to a harpy. Western Skyrim consists of 3 holds: Haathengard, Hjalmarch, and Carthalt. Morthal is the capital of Hjalmarch. It's located southeast of Solitude, along the River Hjal. Old Mjolnir lives in the marshlands nearby. The Raven Watch has had to curtail rogue vampire clans, and put down feral blood fiends on occasion. But I've never dealt with anything like this before. People turning into Harrow fiends, or becoming mindless harrowed. It's a nightmare.
So, what did your vampire friend discover? Reach witches summoning magical storms to create feral vampires? That's horrible, but to what purpose? Well, that's the next puzzle to solve. First, we need to get this information to the Queen. Here. This was for Brondolf, but it's yours now. Queen Gerhild needs to hear what we discovered at Kilcreath Temple. Hopefully that will be enough for her to get us an audience with High King Svargrim. The Queen seemed reasonable. She'll believe us. As for Svargrim, who can tell? I haven't met the man, but everything I've heard describes him as prideful, arrogant, and hard-headed. Even with the Queen's help, there's no guarantee. I'd like to knock down the palace door, grab him by the throat, and shake him until he listens. That would probably start a war, though, and Yoren specifically asked me to avoid that. For now, let's bring our evidence to Queen Gerhild. If there's anything else we need to discuss, let's get it out of the way now, before we return to Solitude. Hey, you and Fëanorian came to that conclusion, not me. Still, it makes as much sense as anything. As to why, I have no idea. Its connection to vampires, though, that's troubling. We should keep Fen away until we get into Svargrim's good graces. No, I need you, and you've already been seen working with me. What I don't want to do is risk bringing an unknown factor into the equation, especially not an unknown vampire when vampires are clearly working with the Icereach Coven. A clever woman? Out here? Nords are extremely distrustful of magic, especially Nords from Western Skyrim. I'm surprised the people of Morthal tolerate her presence. If anyone can help Fen figure out the Coven's ritual, though, it would be her. Our priority remains getting an audience with High King Svargrim. We need to convince him that the Ice Reach Coven is a threat to his kingdom, and get him to help us stop them. Let's return to Solitude and present our findings to the Queen.
I killed him.
you have
I
any
could
experience
with
with
infernal
jails or
contraptions
escapes,
vanish along
I
this
could
scent.
make use of it.
Don't look away.
Help! Assassins in the palace! Help!
That's one of the Queen's attendants. Let's get inside.
Be strong, Svanna.
Mother! No! No!
Svanna, your father, the kingdom. Watch over.
Mother! No! You can't die! Mother!
Sire, the assassins might return. You must get to somewhere safe.
Have Yoren's lackeys come to gloat?
We came here to warn you, Your Highness.
And yet my wife lies dead.
If you had listened to us...
Like she did. If I determine Yoren had a hand in this, there will be war! Someone take care of my wife!
Father, please. Gods, what a disaster. The Queen's been assassinated and Svargrim still refuses to listen to reason. We need to find a way to set things right. Good question. The guards should have been able to handle a run-of-the-mill assassin. This could be connected to the Ice Reach Coven. In fact, I'd wager my axe that it is. Look around. See if you can find any indication of how the assassin got in and out of the palace so easily. Maybe even turn up something that ties the murderer to the Coven. I'll make sure the princess is all right. Svanna's taking this pretty hard. I suppose most daughters feel close to their mothers. Not that I'd know, I never knew my mother. Sorry, don't mind me. Did you find anything that might lead us to the assassin? We've seen these medallions before. On the Reachman near Kilcreath. And I saw them on the witches in Icereach. The assassin definitely seems to be in league with the Coven. But can we get Svargrim to believe that and accept the danger he's in? Svargrim has every right to be angry. He watched his wife die right before his eyes. But he's the High King. He doesn't have the right to be stupid. Time to make Svargrim confront some hard truths. Come on, the Sword Thane led the king upstairs. We need to see the High King.
I should think not. The High King is in mourning. He's not to be disturbed.
The Queen's wasn't the only life lost today. Now get out of our way.
Go right in.
Your Highness, please. Your kingdom is in grave danger.
My queen's blood hasn't yet cooled, and already Yoren's lackeys hound me.
We have proof that the Coven threatening your kingdom is responsible for the Queen's death. Show him, partner.
Does Yoren think me so weak that he believes his half-giant can twist my arm and fill my head with lies? I am not so easily duped, outsider. Reach witches. They pose no threat. We've beaten back those wild dogs time and time again, while our brothers to the east bow down to a poetry-writing milk drinker. I will not be lectured on such matters by the likes of you. Tales told around campfires to scare the children. Storms happen here all the time, and none of them spawn monsters. The last spy who spoke of such things, well, he no longer speaks of such things. I am the Wolf of Solitude. I know my enemies. You dishonor my wife's name by letting it pass through your treacherous lips. Away with you! And pray I don't find evidence that ties you to the Queen's murder. That would not go so well for you.
We'll leave you to your grief, Your Highness.
Is it true? Mother told me you were working for her before she...
I'm sorry, Svanna. I would have saved her if I could.
My mother. She told me she gave the mighty Lyris Titanborn an important task. Tell me, what were you doing for my mother?
Threat?
What threat? And do you think this is why someone came into the palace and killed her? And did you tell my father all this? Is he rallying the soldiers? Alerting the other holds? My father sees Yoren's plots everywhere, even in his spicy venison stew. Well, I won't let my mother's death be for nothing. She trusted you, and so will I. My father be damned. Please, find whoever did this and stop them. I saw the assassin. He moved fast. Unbelievably fast. He leaped through the window after stabbing my mother. By that time, the guards had gathered, so I guess he decided to flee. Try to follow his trail. Someone outside must have seen something. He was fast, that's for certain. Here and gone before the guards could even draw their swords. Other than that, I didn't get a good look. The inside of his hood was nothing but shadows. My father? Listen to me? When Horkers fly, maybe. But probably not even then. He gave up on me a long time ago. I'm sorry. I'm no use to you. No use to anyone. I'm not my mother. Never will be. But I swear I'll do whatever I can to help you. You have my word on that. No. My mother... The last time we spoke, I hurled a mug at her. But I came when she summoned me. Just in time to see her murdered. I need to pull myself together. She asked me to watch over my father. The kingdom. I can't let her down.
Come on, Princess. Let's get you somewhere safe.
Don't call me Princess. Just Svanna. There's nothing noble about me.
Well?
My wife. She is like ice. So cold. So pale.
all the warmth sucked out of her. There was a commotion at the palace. Everyone was headed that way, except one man. No, not a man. He wore an eye patch, but his face was bestial. He dragged her along like a bone between a dog's teeth, and he tossed her aside, pale as snow. He was fast, so fast, ran toward the Hall of the Dead. He never even looked back at what he had done.
I seldom.
Will you pray with me for these poor souls? Cut down and bound for the Hall of the Dead much too soon. It was a monster, a vampire. I have seen such creatures before, but this one wore an eye patch. It moved like a shadow and took sustenance from these poor souls. I called upon Arkay's grace, and the vampire fled before his sacred presence. Toward the main gate, I prayed the guard finished off the depraved creature before it took another innocent life.
What is it?
You again? Didn't I warn you about putting your nose where it doesn't belong? A vampire? I don't know what you're talking about. But whoever it was tore out Cenolia's throat and fled through the gate before I could stop him. What do you know about all this? And why is it any of your business? The Queen's dead? What about the High King? He'll have my head for letting the assassin slip away. You think... Would the High King really... But I'm a loyal subject. No more talk. I need to get Cenolia off the street.
This is Svargrim's fault. He should have heeded us from the start. Damn Svargrim and his distrust of Yoren. How many more of his people have to die before he accepts the truth and lets us help him? Forget that for now. Tell me about the assassin. Did anyone get a good look at the murderer? would explain the assassin's swiftness and ability to escape so easily. We knew the Ice Reach Coven had vampires on their side, but using them so blatantly. Anything else to report? Well then, time to fight fire with fire. They've got evil vampires, and we've got a friendly one. Let's find out exactly what your friend Fen knows about vampire clans in the area. Where did you tell me Fen was going again? Right, to research the ritual. Go find them and see what you can learn. I'll stay with Savannah. Bring her up to speed on everything we've uncovered. We're going to need her to get the High King to trust us. And I'm calling him Fen. It's simpler.
Welcome to the middle of nowhere, my friend. You must be freezing. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me how your audience with the High King went. A bold move, even for them. Old Mjolnir and I have been comparing notes, and we've made some progress studying the Harrowstorm ritual. What happened to your large friend with the axe, by the way? We knew that vampires were working with the Coven. And old Mjolnir and I can say with certainty that the feral Harrow Fiends are byproducts of Harrow Storms. You think the assassin was one of the vampires in league with the Coven? An eye patch? That's uncommon. And this insignia, I've seen it before. It's the same as the symbol that decorates the urns smuggled out of Bankarai. If it belongs to a vampire bloodline, I'm not familiar with it. I suggest you ask Mjolnir.
Local wisdom dictates that only the very brave or the very foolish seek the counsel of vampires and old crones. Which are you, I wonder? Well, out with it. What can old Mjolnir do for you? A grim talisman. It bears an enchantment of some kind, though the symbol upon it holds no significance that I'm aware of. I can help find the owner of this medallion. But I need some specific items to cast such a divination. Bring me the bones of a wolf and a death bell plant pulled up by its roots. I need the plant alive. The wolf, not so much. With those reagents, I can conjure a divination that will lead you directly to the last person to wear this medallion. Death bell grows throughout the bog. You should have no trouble acquiring it. Wolves are plentiful in the wilderness around Morthal as well, but be cautious. Many seem afflicted by a strange curse. I would hate for you to run afoul of it. An icy rime clings to the wolves, sapping the heat and life from their bodies until only a frigid, shambling corpse remains. You are safe from them here, but be mindful out in the wild. Welcome back. Warm yourself by the fire, and tell me about the reagents I requested. Good, good. Divinations can be fickle. The longer we delay, the colder the trail grows. Let's see if we can catch the scent of your prey. Mother Wolf, hear me. We seek your blessing in our hunt. Lead us to our elusive quarry. Mother Wolf smiles upon you. She has seen fit to join your pack and aid you in your hunt. Mother Wolf has the scent and will lead you to your quarry. I have enchanted the medallion with a divination spell inextricably linked to its owner. Hold it to your nose and breathe deeply. It will guide you along his trail. Mother Wolf will guide you along the way, but you must still complete the hunt and find him. If the assassin eludes you, use the medallion to recover his trail. The wolf is relentless in her pursuit. The question is, will you be like the wolf?
Fascinating. Every divination appears to be unique. Go ahead and use the medallion. Old Mjolland and I need to get back to our study of the Harrowstorm ritual. points to the west. Must have been desperate to flee while trying to escape. Is it wrong to find these visions so intriguing? This one showed your assassin again, eye patch and all, by a cave near a waterfall. And the ball of magicka drifted toward the west again. I suggest we go that way as quickly as possible. There's nothing we can do for her. The vampire assassin drained all the blood from her body. He took his time with her, I think. Probably needed to recover his strength after the events at the palace. Let's get after him before the trail grows cold. Yes. This is definitely the place in the vision. I'll slip past and scout ahead.
Deal with you next time you fight.
Once again, I prove that I'm a scholar, not a warrior. I don't think he expected another vampire, though. I found the camp. Thought it was deserted, but the assassin must have been hiding in the shadows. He got the drop on me. It had more to do with your arrival than anything I did. Luckily, he left behind his belongings when he departed. I saw a map and some documents over there. Why don't you take a look while I deal with this wound? Get a good look at that before. Mind bringing it over? Let me take a look at what you found. The letters are both addressed to the vampire assassin. Hentark Korb. That's an unusual title. This one gives the order to assassinate the Queen, where the language is guarded. The other talks about miners and a final ritual. Very ominous. It looks like a map to a mine in Carthald. It could be the one mentioned in the letter. If that's the target of another Harrowstorm ritual, we need to stop it. Head south to the mine. I'll get word to Lyris and have her meet you there. My particular habits aside, one of us needs to find the assassin, and the other needs to alert Lyris Titanborn. I can handle the latter. Besides, I have no intention entering Solitude. A courier should have no trouble picking Lyris out of a crowd.
As evil lairs go, I'm not impressed.
I'll take that as a good sign.
We think this old mine is where our assassin fled to? Good a place as any to bury him. The clever woman helped you track the Queen's assassin to his hideout in Chillwind Depths. He got away, but left behind evidence that the Coven's planning another Harrow Storm in this mine, and we're going to wreck those plans. I miss anything? Good. Less chance of them scurrying away if they think they have the advantage. I'm tired of chasing these rats through the shadows. Are you ready to end this?